the departure of the Saint Anba Khail, the 46th Pope of the See of St. Mark. On this day of the year 483 AM, the Holy Father Anba Khail, the 46th Pope of the See of St. Mark, departed. This father was a monk in the monastery of St. Macarius, and he was knowledgeable and ascetic. When Pope Theodorus the 45th Patriarch, his predecessor, departed, the bishops, the bishops of Lower Egypt, Delta, and the priests of Alexandria gathered in the church of Anba Synoda in Cairo. A dispute arose among them about who was fit, and finally they called Anba Musa, bishop of Usim, and Anba Petros, bishop of Mariot. When they arrived, Anba Musa found the priests of Alexandria obstinate. He rebuked them for that, and and dismissed them that night, so their minds and souls might calm down. When they met, when they met the next day, he mentioned to them the name of the priest Khail, the monk in the monastery of Saint Macarius. They unanimously agreed to his choice and obtained a decree from the governor of Egypt to the elders of the wilderness of Shishit to Wadi el Natron to bring him from the monastery. On their way, when they arrived to Giza, they found Father Khail coming along with some elders to fulfill certain tasks connected with the monastery. They seized him, bound him, and took him to Alexandria, where they ordained him patriarch on the 17th of Tute, year 460 AM. It happened that there was a drought in the city of Alexandria for 2 years, and on that day the rain fell heavily for 3 days, and the people of Alexandria considered that a good omen. During the reign of Marwan, the last of the caliphs of the Umayyad rule, and during the governorship of Hafs ibn al-Walid, and during the days of these rather many great tribulations fell upon the believers. A large number of the believers fled from Egypt, and the number of those who denied Christ was 24,000. And because of that, the patriarch was in great sorrow until God perished those who was responsible for that. This further endured many difficulties from Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, the new governor. He imprisoned, beaten, chained, and tortured him with many others of painful tortures. Then he released him. The patriarch went to Upper Egypt to collect alms, and when he came back, the governor took the money from him and threw him back in prison. When Kyriakos, king of Duba, knew that, he was extremely enraged. He prepared 100,000 soldiers and marched down to Egypt. Going through Upper Egypt, he slew the Muslims that he met. Until he reached Helfostad, he camped around the city, threatening to destroy it. When Abdel Malik the governor saw the army surrounding the city, and that all this had, and all that this and that all this had taken place for the sake of the patriarch, he became terrified. So he released him for prison with great honor. The governor entreated the patriarch to mediate peace between him and the king of Nuba. The patriarch agreed to his request. So he went with some of the clergy to meet the king and asked him to accept the peace from Abdel Malik, which the king accepted and returned back. Abdel Malik respected the Christians and lifted up all his retribution. When the father, the patriarch, prayed for the sake of the governor's daughter, who was possessed with an unclean spirit, and with his prayers the unclean spirit left her, the governor increased his respect for the Christians. This father debated with Cosmas the Melchite Patriarch concerning the hypostatic union. Pope had wrote him a letter signed along with his bishops, which said in it, "It is not right way to say that in Christ to distinct truths or two distinct persons after the hypostatic union." Cosmas was convinced with that and asked to become a bishop under the authority of Anba Khail. When Mikhail completed his drive, he departed to the Lord whom he loved after he had spent on the check of St. Mark 23.5 years. May his prayers be with us, and glory be to God forever. Amen.